Gustavo, nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you too.
All
Well,
right.
thanks for having me. Thanks for the interview.
Oh, my
So,
pleasure.
okay, well, Mario, my first question for you is about the shows that you're going to do with Kiko Loureiro here in Brazil. I want to know, how will you divide the set list? Which songs will which of you be playing? What can you tell about us? A little bit of a spoiler.
Okay, well, I don't want to give too many spoilers, um, but we're going to do a lot of very unique things during this show. Um, the show is basically Kiko's show. It's Kiko's concert, but we're going to add a section of this concert where I join and we play. I don't want to tell you what we're playing because that's going to give away a lot of things. But we play together and we play things that no one would expect us to play. And the whole concept is to kind of really make a make a use out of the things that we both do that are very very different from each other, and to expand on that and discover the kind of unique things we can do together. And so it's going to be a definitely special departure from the concert because I think everyone knows what Kiko is capable of doing it with his own music, but no one has really seen us play together. Um, so I think that's really what I can tell you to expect. I'm not going to tell you songs or any kind of arrangements or anything like that, but I will tell you that we've already decided on everything that we're going to do. So we're very comfortable with what we're going to do and very excited to do it because it's never been done before.
Yes, well, and Mari, how did you first meet Kiko Loureiro? Because you played together in Japan and you appeared on his album Open Source. But have you been in contact with him before? Were you familiar with his work in Angra?
Uh, I think we met sometime in Japan on a radio program, but very casually. And when he joined Megadeth, we got in touch with each other. I forgot really how it happened, um, but I was very glad that he joined the band. And if he were to come to Japan, he would visit, and we would get together and chat and have a drink or something. And I just found him very friendly and very intelligent and fun guy to talk to. And so we would get together a couple of times, but we never really played guitar together. I don't think that we ever really played guitar together except for at Budokan and with Megadeth. So we've never really sat down with guitars before. So it should be very fresh, a fresh thing for us to do.
And well, he will be playing his last record, Theory of Mind. And have you had the chance to listen to the Kiko record, or maybe any other music of his career?
I haven't heard his new album yet. Um, I've heard the album that I played on, and that was just absolutely incredible, incredible guitar playing. And I have heard some Angra stuff too. And Angra is really popular in Japan, and a lot of people who are playing in heavy metal bands in Japan, they mention Angra as an influence. And so I think that's kind of how I first heard Kiko's guitar, is because a lot of Japanese bands will, you know, they think very highly of Kiko's playing and the band Angra. And so that was how I first heard of his music and his guitar playing. And I think it's very unique and very uh, very high level guitar playing. I mean, there's a lot to enjoy about it.
Well, since you mentioned Angra, can you remember any particular record, any song, or any album that caught up your attention?
No, but I did play an Angra song. Um, there's a YouTube channel called Rock Fujiyama, and every time there's guests that come on the song, guests that come on the YouTube channel, I would jam with them. And one time, some guests, I forgot who the guest was. It was girls. It was a couple of girls in a girls' band. They wanted to jam an Angra song. And so the three of us played an Angra song on guitar together. And I was very excited because the song was very cool and nice guitar work. And but I think a lot of people in Japan are more knowledgeable than I am. And so I've heard some things that I like, but I haven't heard everything.
Yes. And do you see the possibility of working on original material together with Kiko in the future?
I would definitely not be against that. I mean, it was so easy to play together on his album, and he's just a very easygoing person, and I am as well. And I think we both have very interesting, completely different approaches to guitar. So I think now that we're going to be playing in Brazil together for so long, we're going to probably discover a lot of things about each other, and if something happens, it will be very organic and very natural. Dude, we got to write a song together or whatever. I think what's going to happen is when we're playing live, things are just going to come out of improvisations. Just watching the audience respond to us and us reacting to that is going to kind of be an organic way for us to create something new. I mean, I think we're going to create something new every single night over there.
Yes. And Mari, talking a little bit about your career, you recently released a song with, well, a Japanese band called Asterism. The song is called Gyuto. I don't know if I pronounced it correct. How did this collaboration come about, and what was the experience like?
I've known about Asterism for a while, and I always liked their music, and we met and we played together again on that Rock Fujiyama YouTube channel, and I just fell in love with the band. They are so enthusiastic about playing intense, aggressive music, and they play so well for their age. They're like 20 years old, and it reminded me very much about when I was, around that age and I was playing in a band called Cacophony. It reminded me of that. And so when we played together, there was just kind of a magical connection. And their management and my management and the record label all just got very excited about what we were doing. And they're like, we got to release a song together. And things happened very, again, organically. And we played a couple festivals where I would jump in and play with them. And we did a YouTube thing called The First Take, which is very popular in Japan. And this thing all happened in a very short period of time. And anything I can do to support that band, I will do, because I think they're wonderful, and they've got a very bright future. I like them.
Yes. Well, Marty, talking a little bit about your time in Megadeth. You joined in 1990. Okay, so how do you view the band's work before you came aboard? I mean, is there a clear difference between Megadeth in the 80s and in the 90s in your way? As because, for example, in Scorpions, many people say, oh, we have Scorpions from the 70s, Scorpions from the 80s. Do you think the same thing happens with Megadeth?
Oh, definitely, in my opinion, completely. Megadeth was a great band before I joined, and they're a great band after I left. But my era in Megadeth has its own particular sound and a particular look. And I think it's very different from all of the other eras. And yeah, it was very cool.
Mhm. Yes, yes. And I was checking the Spotify of Megadeth, and I noticed that the most streamed song from Megadeth is Symphony of Destruction. It's a song that, well, you played. So, what do you remember about the writing process of this track? What can you tell us about your guitar solo on it? Any memory that pops up in your mind?
Oh, uh, I wrote a lot about this in my autobiography. I have an autobiography called Dreaming Japanese. And I wrote in great detail about the writing process in Megadeth. And an important thing that I wrote in the book was the fact that no matter whose name was on the song, whose credit, all four band members worked exactly the same amount of time on that writing. They all worked the same amount of time songwriting, starting the song from zero and completing it. And so, if I remember, Symphony of Destruction was on the second album that I did with the band. And at that time, I was more comfortable in the band because I'd been in the band for almost 2 years. And it was maybe our first pop song. It's like a pop song, if you could say that. And I was glad because you got to have pop songs if you want to reach massive amounts of people. And I think we did it without losing our heavy metal fans. You know what I mean? You know, you can make a pop song, but if you lose your core audience, it's not something that we wanted to do.
Yes. Well, Mari, since people talk about, well, the so-called big four of thrash metal, what would your personal big four of thrash metal guitarists would be?
Oh, that's impossible. It's a very good question, but it's impossible.
Can you
I'm not
name
very
a few
good.
ones?
I'm not good with ranking people. I don't think guitarists should be ranked because every single person has an equally valid opinion. So there's no ranking, but I'll just mention two great guitar players I know from Brazil, and that's Kiko and Matias Asato. And those are two. They're the big two as far as I'm concerned. Um, but yeah, if you got one last question, I got to get to the next interview. I'm sorry to cut this short, but
No problem. Actually, that was my last one. Thank you very
oh,
much,
good.
Mari, for the interview.
Thank you,
Bye
Gustavo. I hope
bye.
to see you in Brazil. See you in
Yeah,
Brazil.
here in
All right.
Curitiba.
Ah, nice, nice. All right. Take care. Thank
Take
you.
care too. Bye bye.
Bye.